G'day guys, Lee here. We're just about to do a video on a iPhone 6 Plus that has been dropped in the toilet. So the customer dropped it off just now. I was going to do a live stream, but I can't get it working for some reason. So as you can tell there, we've got fresh pee by the looks of it. It smells pretty rank. So I actually had to go and buy some gloves for the occasion. So I'll whack these gloves on and then start getting into it. So I don't usually wear gloves because I never have any you know, I've never had a toilet damaged phone before, so this is going to be a first for me. So let's put these gloves on and then get stuck into it and see if we can fix the phone. So she said that it was it turned on a couple of times and then turned off, so hopefully they haven't ruined it. I know they have tried to stick it in rice because there's rice in the headphone jack here, so I don't know if you can see. Might not be able to see it because of the focusing of the camera, but there's actually rice in the headphone jack there. So yeah, so we'll start by pulling this phone down. So I'll just put the camera down here and you can have a bit of a squiz at the pull down. So I'll probably oh, this stinks really bad. It's horrible. I'll pull it down, and for those that want to watch, they can watch, or I'll put a time mark in there for when I've pulled it down. This must have gone into some real fresh urine, or it wasn't the toilet wasn't flushed when they did it, or there must have been some in there, because this is real bad. Oh, this is disgusting. So let's remove the screen. Oh well, there's pee everywhere. Oh, this is bad. Well, not sure about using the LCD again. So let's put that to the side. Let's just have a quick inspection of the phone. So let's have a little look here, what we're up against. Oh wow, pee must be really corrosive. Look at that. So already the pee has started to work its magic. Oh wow. Oh, look at that. That's yuck. That's disgusting. Ooh, that's nasty. Come in focus. Alright, there we go. So you can see straight away that pee and phones don't mix. So let's pull the sticker off, get rid of the sticker. It's disgusting. Oh my god, it's everywhere. Alright, let's get the sticker removed and continue to pull this out of the phone. So what's this like under here? Oh, it's done damage to the connector as well. If you look at that, it's done damage to the connector. So let's get the rest of this phone out and see what we're up against. So SIM card, the SIM card out. Turn that down a bit so you can see. Okay. Let's pull it out of the way. So normally with the water damaged phones, I get rid of the battery and I get rid of anything that's come into contact with the water at all, the charging flexes and so forth, because you don't want any additional problems. So we're going to pull this all down. This is the thing about the iPhones, they tend to, there is quite a few screws in them, and they do tend to take a while to pull down. Let's pop that in there. Get rid of that one, the antenna. So I wonder how it actually went into the toilet. Oh, there's lots of water over there as well. So when people take them to the toilet, do you reckon that they're in the back pocket, or do you reckon and they get up and it falls in, or do you reckon that it they go around to flush it and it falls out of their hand? There's all these little, I wonder how. Let's just wipe the pee off the battery, because that's really gross. It's grossing me out. And we'll get rid of the battery too. I'll do that afterwards. Oh, it stinks. I may have to stick this in the ultrasonic. It stinks so bad. It's so smelly. Okay. It's definitely getting a new screen. I know that for a fact. Oh, the water under there. The wee under there. Look at that. Let's put you across there. Let's see if we can use that tissue again and clean that up a bit. Oh my god. I don't know if it made it all the way down the bottom or not, but definitely made it to the top area. So we'll need to pull that sticker off just so we can see what's happening under there. And make sure that it hasn't gone into all the components and started doing damage in there. So we're just going to lift this just going to lift this little sticker here and see if nothing's happened under here. Oh, that's good. Looks pretty clean under here, so that's good. Yeah, that all looks good. I need to refocus my microscope, so just bear with me 2 seconds. Actually, that looks pretty good. Let's have a look here. Can I get it any better? Need to lift that up a bit. Tighten that off. Alright, that's looking better. No, but it's still going to come out. Yeah, okay, there we go. No, let's do this on the other screen. I'll have to edit this video, I think. So let's have a little look. So we'll go down on a cap from there. That's not too bad. It goes out of focus there. So we want it in focus the whole way. That looks better. There we go. That's spot on. Okay, so back to it. So what we can do now is pop this cover, that sticker back, because that's all good. Have a look at this. So that area there looks fine, which is good. So I wonder if any water got under this CPU shield. Doesn't seem to be. Seems to be anything under there. And it doesn't seem to be anything under the other shield as well. No, that one. No, that one looks right. So it looks like it's just the top section here. So I'm going to give it a clean. Wow, I can't believe how quick that's done that. That's unbelievable. Looks disgusting. Alright, I'll give it a clean with some isopropyl alcohol and see how we go with that. Isopropyl alcohol? Well, that cleaned up alright, didn't it? Wow, it's pretty corrosive stuff, the old wee. It is very acidic, so it doesn't surprise me. Let's remove their P sticker. One more P sticker. And we'll just clean up this little bit of sticker here on the bench. Okay. Now let's have a good look at this now. So that's just a bit of leftovers from the pea. Eating away at it. Okay, so I think I can see a potential problem here. This cap here, if you look at this cap, it's actually missing. It's a VCC cap and it's actually missing part of its grounding next to the camera IC. So I would say might have to replace that. We'll have a look at that one. Let's just do a reading on our multimeter and see what we can come up with there. So a normal reading, the multimeter is about 340 on diode mode for an iPhone 6. So I'm just going to chuck our red probe on ground and our black probe on VCC main. So let's just flip it over because VCC main cap's here. So we can use the Wi-Fi chip as ground, and we'll see what reading we get. So we get that's ground, and we do have a full short on full short on VCC. So if I switch that over, you should be able to hear that beep. So full short there. You can hear that beeping. I can't show you the multimeter, but take my word for that one. So I would say it's this cap here, which is the problem. That one doesn't look very healthy at all. So let's just remove that cap. From experience, I know. So that's the camera I see. I know that this cap goes bad when I don't really want to disturb that camera I see when water goes to it. So actually it should just pop off. There we go. Gone forever. Gone with the P. So where did that cap go? It flew off somewhere. Is that it? There it is there. So we look at that cap under the scope here. You'll see what I mean. It doesn't have the it's lost all of its connection on one side. Look at that. So it might not be this cap, but we'll try. We'll see what the reading is now on our VCC and see what we get. Do we get a beep? Because you guys can hear the beep. Do we get a beep? Beep, yes. And we want no beep. We still get a beep. So it wasn't that cap. So there's still a short on that line. Now let's just have a look. What else have we got here? That might be shorted to ground. Sure that's ground. Maybe not. That's got ground. Yeah. Okay, so it's under here. Oh, good looking cap. Look at that one. Alright, so let's do another method here. Let's put some power on it. So we're going to use our little squid. Get some power on this. That really is bright for you guys to see. Anyway, let's get some power on it. So we'll grab our iPhone 6 Plus connector, which is this one. Move it over a bit. Okay, there we go. So we're going to connect it up to power. Like that. And straight away we've got a 0.3 short. So let's see if we can find this Actually, let's try it with let's try our thermal camera and see if we can find it with the thermal camera. That could be kind of cool. So let's go the thermal camera way. And see if we can find it with a thermal camera. So at the moment it is a 0.02 short. So 20 milliamps. So let's hit the magic button. Oh, look at that. So we can bring this up here. And there we can see our short. Sometimes it's sort of like, because it's going on and off all the time with the power, and it's only a very small short. So let's focus this in. Oh, it's hard with gloves to try and get this focused. There we go. Alright, so we'll just pop it there. Come back to that. We'll lift this up a bit. So we know it's exactly there. So I would say that camera IC by looking at it. Because if we zoom in there, it's going to be the camera IC in that sort of area. Definitely looks not very happy. So let's just confirm that by putting some freeze spray on here and see where the heat goes. So on this section here, okay, let's get our freeze spray. It's right here next to me. Let's pop some freeze spray on it. We'll zoom in a bit. Okay. Okay, wait for it to cool. Wait for it to freeze. Now, push the button. What have we got? There we go. Did you guys see that? Hope you did. Let's do that again. So freezed up, and we're going to hit the power button. Bang, straight away. Look at that. So there's our short. So there was two ways we just did that by checking, and that was the thermal camera, and which comes in handy because sometimes it's really hard to find those small shorts. So let's pull this off, this chip, and see if we removes the short. So let's pop it under here. So we'll just need to go around where are we on the camera? There it is. Okay. So we'll just go around with a low heat just to remove this. Let's lock the board in first. That'd be a good start. Why have I got wobble? Let's come out a bit. And try and make this as easy as you can for yourself. So, okay. So we're just gonna pull this off here. What I might do is just put a bit of flux under it. And these ICs are tiny, tiny, tiny. So give it some good heat. You can see the dot there. Oh, look at that under there. It's pretty gross. So there is the IC. I'm trying to show you what it looks like underneath. But it keeps, the size of the IC. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. You can definitely see it now. Come down a bit. So yeah, that's no good, so that needs to go in the bin. So we'll just clean this little area up here. We'll hope that our pads are still there. We'd have to run any jumpers, because that would be good. Alright, a low heat. Just to remove any of this crud, or wee I should say. Oh god, the feeling that it's gone, the pads are gone. Just going to remove this. Looks like those two are there. Those two are gone. Let's have a quick look with some alcohol. Oh, maybe the third one's there. So I'm pretty sure. That one's just ground. I'll have to have a look. Look that up. So I think we just lost the cap there. So when you're working on this stuff, you really have to remove the underfill, or the overfill I should say. Alright, I'm just going to clean that up with my soldering iron and see what's left there. Because there's quite a few things there that's missing. And a lot of it doesn't need it, but if we want camera to work, we'll need it. I might switch over, tin these two. Actually, I'll use a bit of heat. I'll do that. There goes that pad. That was the VCC pad, and I think that's the VCC for that chip. It's funny, I just fixed a saltwater 6S, and it had a fully blown camera LDO with no VCC on the line. And this is the same by the look of it. So you've got two pads there. So if we look at the schematic of that, so let's just look at the schematic. ZXW, and see what we're what we've got there. Once it loads. So iPhone 6S, no, 6 Plus. And we'll look at that picture there. So yeah, you can see there's VCC there going through. So which one are we missing? Camera external, enable. So our enable line's gone, completely gone. That'll go to the CPU. So if we go across here, let's see, there's a CPU line there. Oh, this is the second one I've done of these. So, okay. So what I'm going to have to do is fix this, and I'll probably fix it by, I will run a wire. So I'll run a wire from, I have to run so there's two I have to run. VCC mainline. What have we got here? 3 volts. Okay. So I'll just take the 3 volts, because the LDO, what does that bring it down to? 2.8. So okay, so I'll run the 3 volts. I'll grab a wire and run the 3 volts from that cap to under the LDO. Actually, I don't even need the LDO on there, because that's all that is, a regulator. So I'll run the 3 volt line from there to there, and that'll give us our cameras back. We don't even have to worry about this bit. Okay, so let's do that. So it was that one, wasn't it? Let's have a look. That cap there, the 3 volt one. Yep, next there. Okay. I'll zoom out a bit. So that, from memory, that there's our touch IC. When I say I mean touch ID IC. There's our VCC, which is gone. There's our enable line. Our enable line still works, so okay. Let me just check the diode reading on the enable line and make sure that's all good. And then I might end up doing that. So what have we got on that? Okay, our enable line's still there. That's 470 on diode. That's ground. And that there. No reading on that, but that doesn't matter. Can't believe that track just got blown to smithereens. Yep, not there. Alright, so I might just have a bit of dinner and come back to this. And actually, we'll just check before I go. We'll just check to see if the phone has a short on it and can boot up, because it should be able to boot up now. So let's just check that. So let's get our squid again. Wherever it is. That one, 6 plus. Okay. There's no short on the line anymore, so that's good. We'll get a working screen. So we've got a brand new screen here, and we'll pop that on. I haven't checked anything else, so I'm assuming it's just gonna the backlight and everything's gonna work. Obviously the cameras aren't gonna work because they're not plugged in. Plus they've got no power to them. Alright, that's connected. Pop that down there and see how we go. Pop that round like that. So we've got normal boot. Okay, so we've got a problem with our backlight because we actually do have a little bit of problem here, unless it's the screen. I might just disconnect that and reconnect it. Actually, let me just try another screen just to make sure. Just make sure it's not the screen first. That clicked in nicely. And so did that. So let's have a look now. So yeah, it's still got an issue with the backlight, but we have our boot. It's booting up. So there's the same missing section of the backlight there. So I'll have to look into that while it's doing it. So hopefully we get it to boot up, and then they're in the big time. It's working. So I will stop the video for now. Oh, it doesn't like that. Something going on with that backlight. Oh, it's playing. It's a party iPhone. Is it going to boot up? Maybe. Oh, there it goes. It's booted up. Has it got touch? Yes, it does have touch. So I'll look at that after some food. I'll be back. Okay, welcome back, guys. I'm just coming to the second part of this video. So I've got this board here, and as you know, it's had some wee damage, some pee all over it. So we've got a problem here with our camera section here. So our camera LDO normally sits here, and it's the VCC line is here with a cap, and it's blown off. So that's our enable line for that goes directly to our CPU for our cameras. This is VCC here. It comes across to here. This is a little regulator, voltage regulator pretty much, and it's ground pin, and that goes through the regulator at 4 volts and comes out at 2.85 and then heads over to here. So and then shoots off down over to here somewhere on the camera FPC connector. So what I was going to do is, because there's no VCC lines around here, there is one over here. So this is our normal cap that goes bad on water damaged phones. This one is fine. It hasn't been hit there. So I've just put a little bit of solder on there, and I'm just going to run a jump wire from there. So let me zoom in a bit. It's going to run a jump wire from there, like so. And I'll probably just go, where should I go? I might just go through this hole here. So I'll feed it through that hole. Let's have a look here. Pretty sure that's the hole. Oh no, I'll feed it through the small hole. I'll feed it through the small hole. Let's have a look at the frame actually, and we'll see. Oh, I'll feed it through the small hole because that's got the little nub here, and we should get around it. Actually, no, I'll go around it. I'll go around the outside. I just don't want it to. So I'll just go basically around the outside, just like Slim Shady does. He goes around the outside. So I might put a bit of UV glue there. Let's do that. Let's put a bit of UV glue there. And that'll hold it in place. Okay, like that. Get our light up. I need to do an order and get myself a little pen light, because I've got a big one. I'm using a big nail polish one. So we'll just cure this. And get this cured, and then I'll do the same on the other side, and we should be looking pretty good. Problem with this thing, it takes a while to cure. Yeah, it hasn't even gone off yet. So I've had a huge stack of stuff come in. So I've done a charge port on a iPad Air. I've got Wi-Fi issue on a iPhone 7, no Wi-Fi. iPhone 7 with structural damage. A few other phones here. So I've got a few things to do. Okay, let's have a look. So is that dried at all? Not really. No, it's still wet. No, it's still wet. Alright. I'll be back once it's dried, and I'll do the other side as well. Okay, guys. So I've gone ahead and I've done the UV glue. So here's one bit of the UV glue. So we can just dry this up now. Get that dry. Okay, so that's dry, and the other side. So as you can tell, I've just run it along there. And so I've run it from the other side down there into here and then onto here. So that's our wire there, and we're going to put our chip on here. Now this also had a backlight problem, and that would be because it's missing a filter across there. So I'm just going to whack a filter on there as well. So let's do the filter first. And take care of that. Because it was, I don't know if you remember, it was having a bit of a party on the backlight, and that's probably because that needs to be that needs to have a filter on it. So half of the backlight was working. Alright, so I've got those two pads tinned up now. And we'll just grab a filter. So we'll just look at what filter is actually needed there. So let's go across to here and see what filter we actually need. And it is this one here, FL2026. So it's a 240 ohm 2.8. So let's have a little look here, see what we've got. Just got to try and find them. There we go. Isn't FL2024 the same? What have we got here? FL2024. 2024, I would say so. Yeah, it's going to be the same, isn't it? 2024. Yeah, it's for the iPhone 6. What was it? Here we go. Oh yeah. Yeah, so it's the same filter. So that's good. So let's just pop one out of here. And put one in place. Tiny little things they are. There we go. Straight on there. We'll give it a little bit of heat. Alright, so that's done. And then we'll pop a little bit of flux on here. And put this IC down. So we'll grab our LDO out. There we go, camera LDOs. And we'll just have to look at which way this goes as well. And it popped out and flew somewhere. Where did that go? Where did you go, little IC? There it is. Wow, that's tiny. Okay. Look how small that is. That was tiny, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it goes around that way with the H at the top there, but we'll just double check that. So I'll see which one, say A1's down the bottom there. So that means the dot goes around that way. Yep. So I'm going to pop the dot right like that. So I just need to pop that on there. Without disturbing that. Like that. Okay, so that's looking pretty. It's looking pretty good. That's looking like it got it. Yeah, it's looking pretty on there. So we'll just give this a bit of a clean up. Just a soft clean up there. Don't disturb things too much. Looking pretty good. And we'll give it a shot. So let's get our, let's put it, how's this board, this, oh look at the camera. Look at the camera connector from the water, well the piss. So I can't use that camera. I'll see if I've got another housing here. And pretty sure I do have a few 6+ housings. Hopefully one's got a camera in it. It's all been taken out, I think. Okay, have I got a 6+ camera? Let's have a look. I think I do actually. 6+. Yes, I do. Okay, so I've got a camera here. And have I got a front camera? I do have a front camera. Oh, I've got a couple of cameras. So I've got a front camera as well. And I'll get a new screen. And let's cross fingers that we have our image back, because it was, I don't know if you remember, it was doing a bit of a party mode on the image. And it was also it was doing a bit of a party mode on the image, and it was also not giving the correct image all the time. So that's that done. That's that done. I'll plug in our front camera. Alright, that's our front camera plugged in. Now let's plug in our squid for our DC power supply. Okay, so everything's looking good there. Give it some power. Now we have full brightness working, so that's good. The brightness is perfect. And we'll check our cameras if we can. Oh, this way, let's see what the password was on this one. Okay, so I'll just check our cameras. So it doesn't look like we've got our front camera. Got our our front camera's working. That's good. So I don't think our rear camera is working. Oh no, our rear camera is working now. There we go. Look at that. So our rear camera is working, and our front camera is working. That's awesome. So you should be able to see. Where am I? Yeah. There you go. You should be able to see me now, maybe. If I can't get me. Hello. So yeah, there's our front camera and our rear camera. Perfect. All right. So there you go. So everything seems to be working. So the job we did on the cameras works. So I'll turn this off now, and I'll pop that back together. I'll just go over it. I'll probably end up changing everything in the housing because it was full of Wii. New screen, new battery, new front camera, new rear camera, clean up the rest of the water damage if there is any left over. Just go over the whole phone, chuck it on the power supply, make sure it's not using any excess current, and ring the customer and tell them it's ready, and they're going to be happy as. So that was a really interesting one. I do see a lot of those. With that repair, I could have pretty much just piggybacked off the 2.85 line and just gone direct rather than having the enable line from the CPU, and that still would have worked. So I wouldn't even need to put the regulator on there. But the fact that it still had, most of the time when the water damage gets in there and takes out that the enable line, you don't have a choice but to piggyback off that 2.8 line direct. So give the cameras voltage like all the time, and I've done that before and it works perfectly, and it doesn't show any excess current draw or anything like that. But the fact that it was still there and active, that I thought, well, I'll just do it correctly, go off the VCC line and put the right part back, and that's the way it was meant to be, and so they'll have a working phone. So yeah, awesome. If you like what you see, like my stream, subscribe, share it, and I'll see you on the next stream. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.